Bennett asked, which model is more likely to sustain long-term success? The Georgia solid team defense and run game model of this year, or the 2019 LSU, 2020 Alabama electric offense with somewhat lacking defense? The key here is sustain long-term success. Okay, we just saw Georgia win a national championship, so no one in their right mind is going to say, you can't win a championship that way. It is very important to note what Bennett said here. Sustained long-term success. In today's football, you will always see me lean towards the elite quarterback, elite skill perimeter play, good enough, situationally good defensively. I'm taking that model every day of the week, because if we really think about Georgia, this is not to rain on a parade by any stretch. That was an incredible team to watch this year. But if you think about what Georgia just accomplished, what did we see? We saw him get whipped in Atlanta by the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then we see him go to the national championship game, and it's really only after John Mechie and Jamison Williams have gone down that we see Georgia able to take the game and that opposing team by the throat. Again, a lot of people are saying that to discount Georgia. I'm not saying that to discount them at all. Injuries are a part of the game, so I'm not discounting the win at all. It's important to note for a third time, what did Bennett just ask? He asked about future sustainability. So in any given year, I can't count on the other team sustaining multiple injuries to both of their 1,000-yard receivers. If you were to be able to guarantee me that every year, you can pretty much play any style you want to, as long as you recruit at a high level. Now, Georgia's going to recruit at a high level, but listen, I think Kirby Smart has already answered this. We've seen them try to get better at quarterback. This time last year or 2 years ago, lose track of time now, remember, they made it a point to go out and get two guys at quarterback in the transfer portal. They got JT Daniels and they got, Jamie Newman. Almost forget his name these days. Now, neither of those guys panned out the way they wanted them to, but that doesn't mean they weren't trying. Because remember, speaking of this 2019 LSU team, remember what Georgia was coming off of. They were coming off of consecutive years, really. They got beat by Bama in 2017 and 18. And then in 2019, they got beat by Joe Burrow and LSU, and Georgia had a pretty good team. I think after that, Kirby Smart said, we cannot keep recruiting like we are, but forsake the quarterback position. We can't keep recruiting like we are, except at wide receiver. We got to have what those teams have, because that's the way the game's going. And so Kirby Smart started trying to do that. They are still, as we speak, trying to do that. It's just not as easy as LSU made it look in 2019. It's not as easy as Alabama's made it look now a number of times. Do you realize Bama just had more 1,000-yard receivers this past season than Georgia's had in the history of the program? And that's a year following losing Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. So, yeah, Alabama's flipped that switch now. Georgia wants to flip that same switch. If you offered Kirby Smart, hey, you got to give up 20% of your defensive prowess, but in exchange, you're going to get Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, Bryce Young level quarterback play. He wouldn't let you finish the sentence before he said, yes, sign me up. So in terms of long-term, any given year, sustainable formula for winning in 2022 and beyond college football, I'm taking the elite quarterback play, because with that comes elite perimeter play, and you're never out of a game because you were never unable to score. That's the way I'm going on that one, Bennett. It's a really interesting question, though. I think even though I offered like 5 caveats and disclaimers on that, you will still have people listen. And I guarantee you, I know our listeners, there's a fringe minority amongst my Georgia buddies especially who will hear what I just said, and they'll think I'm trying to impugn the credibility of that title win. I'm not. What I just said does not even pertain to the last title win. But we're looking at what in any given year gives you the best chance. We're talking percentages. What gives you the best chance?